Hi, I'm Nicholas Wallwork, the globally published author of Investing in International Real Estate for Dummies for the famous For Dummies self-help series. I'm also JV partner with Martin Roberts out there offering JVs for people that have the capital to want to invest but not the expertise, and we partner up with them. Now, the reason for this video today is I do want to talk to you about JVs. What is a JV? A JV is a joint venture. Now I'm here on our development site from a mentee client we're actually effectively joint venturing with. This is the 30,000 square foot office to residential scheme that we are documenting on the channel. If you want to follow the journey of this and other conversions we're doing a KM conversion in Hampshire. We've done a number of HMOs in the past year. Then do hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos after subscribing. And please like the video. If you like the video and this content and it's helpful to you on your journey, then I'd like to hear from you. So I'm in one of the sites now. I'm just kind of find my guys over here. I'm going to flick over to them now. Good to see you guys. Yeah, JVs, I guess, you know, we do a lot of JVs with people. It's been a growing area of our business over the last couple of years for good reason. What is a joint venture? Well, a joint venture can mean many things to many people. There is no one JV. I guess everything's different, and it depends on the investor involved, it depends on the developer involved, it might depend on the site involved, like how much money does it make, what type of site is it a buy to hold, is it a buy to sell? There's quite a lot of detail to put in place to make sure you and your partner are on the same page with what you're both looking for and finding that synergy to work together. Now, I think when you first think of a JV, you think of a 50-50 split, you're just a partnership going and doing something. That's not always the case. In joint ventures where we're providing all of the expertise and doing all the work, and maybe we're working with a hands-off investor, we would probably be getting more of a sort of 60-40 split in our favour, because the lion's share of the work and risk, it could be a 12, 18-month project. That's a lot of work. And actually, if the returns are good enough for everyone involved, a 40% return for an investor might be more than ample, and it could be fabulous return on their money. It could be 20-30% return on their money. So, picking the terms maybe on a per site basis, or depending on who you're working with, negotiating a deal with someone that suits you both for the amount of work that's being put in for you both is going to be critical. If we're working with an investor that is more hands-on and they're running their business and we're coming in to bring extra expertise to them and help them on their journey, maybe it's helping them get extra finance because we come in as a director on the holding company that can help people get the finance they need to get into larger scale developments. They might have the capital, but they can't get the lending for the majority of the land and development loan. In those kind of scenarios, we're obviously helping a huge amount and we'll do the site with them. But if they're more hands-on, project managing some of the site themselves, then they would have potentially the lion's share of that deal. They might be getting the 60-40 split. And we do JVs like that on, there's a number of shows we're out there doing, one on Sky at the moment, where we invest in people coming along. Check that out if you haven't already. It's called Property Elevator, and the website's propertyelevator.tv. And we're sort of I'm one of the angels there, and we invest in people. And I often like to invest in people that are hands-on. They've got a good amount of capital already, and actually what they're lacking is what I can give value for. I only want to work with people where I can provide extreme value, and that is helping with lending, helping with the bigger construction stuff, helping with my team of contractors, brokers, lawyers, planning consultants, architects, all of the consultants that are made up on a site, and there can be tens of consultants on a bigger site. We're in this 30,000 square foot office conversion right now. This one that's a bit of an half open plan layout. You can see the kitchen sort of around the side there. And we've sort of done different layouts for different people in this site to give a bit of choice for the incoming buyer. And so what does a JV mean to you? You've got to work that out. If you're a developer out there watching this, or a person in property or getting into property, what do you want out of it? But I think what's more important than what you want is about what does an investor want? When I've worked with investors throughout the years, I'm always trying to provide something that they want. If they want to be hands-off, then you need to create a hands-off version of that product for them. With our joint venturing, where Martin and I are joint venturing with people with our combined experience, Martin Roberts, as you know, one of the leading UK property experts, we've teamed up to give you massive breadth of knowledge. Everything from construction to auctions to the contact book that the two of us have is pretty insane. So we wanted to leverage that and offer the ability to work with us to do these joint ventures, which is hugely exciting for everyone. And we wanted to scale up with our team. We've got a team in place now, having developed property for 20 years, where we can do more sites because we've got the team in place to do it. So why not partner with other people to be able to deliver more sites for people and create more value for people, which is hugely exciting. Another important thing to consider is the contracts you use in a joint venture. Now, depending on the structure, you might have a certain legal structure in place. One of the things that's key in that legal structure is protection from sites. So you often want an SPV, a special purpose vehicle, which often just a limited company for each development site you do. That separates the risk from each site so that your company, if you have one bad site in 10, it doesn't pull the whole company down. Thankfully, touch wood, we've not had a bad site yet, and with our expertise and knowledge, we don't intend to have one. But it's still about risk protection, and it's also about the legal structure. We normally have a minimum of a 2-tier structure at the bottom of our corporate structure. The SPVs for each site, then we have like a holding company. That holding company is normally where we share with the JV person. So we might be shareholders and directors of that, own that holding company for the sites. And if we're going to work with someone on a JV basis and they want to build out a big portfolio, we can do that with them. You know, so if we're on the holding company with them, we can then build all the sites below it and actually build an entire business for them. So it's not just a one-off. You know, you need to think when you're doing a JV, is it going to be a one-off, or are you hoping to do more sites together? I always look for long-term relationships. I'm looking for people that want us to go and work hard for them and build their portfolio out whilst they, you know, enjoy the returns and enjoy the process. They might want to get involved and come to site meetings, run the site. They might want to make all the key decisions in terms of spec and size and layouts and everything. We'll do our best to present everything to a certain client, and they might sign everything off. You know, so as a JV partner, an investor into a developer like myself, you'll be thinking, you know, what level of involvement do you want, and how hands-off or hands-on do you want to be? And that all comes into the sort of negotiating when you're discussing the equity requirements at the beginning and what everyone's comfortable with. You know, I'm a massive believer in a win-win relationship. You know, if you don't win as an investor investing in me and Martin, then I don't do another site with you, so I lose. I want to deliver extreme value. I want you to grow your business and be hugely successful and make excellent returns. And that way we're going to work together for a very, very long time. But going back to the legal structure for a minute, you might have shareholders agreements in place. You might have a dedicated joint venture agreement. There are various ways to secure that, but you know, if you're owning a share of a holding company, or very least an SPV for the site, you know, a shareholders agreement and details of that should be included. You know, you want to include things like what happens if one person doesn't want to sell. You know, what happens if things go wrong? You know, who's putting what amount of money in and where? Is there a buffer? You know, what's the contingency? What timescales is everyone working to? You know, what are the short-term and the long-term goals for the investor and the developer? All this needs to be discussed up front. Don't be shy about discussing it. You know, sometimes it sort of comes, you know, it can be a bit nerve-wracking discussing finances and issues, and you know, if you don't feel comfortable with the level of equity, or you know, one party doesn't, then it's not a good basis for moving forward. You know, everyone's got to feel like they're getting a great deal, and those are the best JVs where you can build long-lasting relationships. So I guess I've kind of covered off, you know, a few of the tips about joint ventures. No, there is no one size fits all. There is no one contract. There are lots of terms, lots of things, lots of moving parts. There are people with feelings and emotions and different circumstances, different scenarios, and it's important to talk about all those. It's like writing a will. You know, you want to write all of that stuff up front, get it in black and white so there's no misunderstandings later down the line. And on the point, if someone wants to sell, let's say there's two JV partners or in two entities, I always say if one person wants to sell, you have to sell. That's my view, and that's what I put in my contracts, because I don't want to tie anyone to anything. You know, if one of you wants to sell, you have to sell it, or you have an agreement to buy the other party out at a set fair price. Maybe you get 3 local valuations to take the average of those. You know, so there needs to be a mechanism into how to dispose of an asset. If you chose a hold strategy and then you change to a sell strategy, good mechanisms in the, you know, discuss them first and then put them in the contracts to get yourself out. So I kind of hope that's been a useful video. If you would like to partner with Martin Roberts and myself on your next scheme, maybe you've got a care home or a commercial building or a plot of land, you want to help get planning on those units, and you want to help us build them out for you, indeed, if you've got a decent amount of capital, you want us to help find the sites for you and then develop them out, we can do all of the above. So I'd love to hear from you. Details around this video, so click the link, go forward to nicholaswallwork.com/mentorship, and you'll find details of the JV there. Book a call with me, we can have a chat through, and hopefully we will find a way to do a cracking deal and get you going in some major scale commercial conversions or similar new build projects. So please do subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you liked hearing about JVs and some of the intricacies of negotiating them and how to make sure you come out with a win-win deal, hopefully that's been of value, and look out for further videos with other interesting educational tips around property development and construction. And I'll see you on another video very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.